Tom Downey here for Chat Sports. We're about to preview the Titans vs. Saints matchup, and this video, or a similar version of it, will be going up on both of our channels, our Tennessee Titans one and our New Orleans Saints one. So I am challenging both channels to get more subscribers. The winner of who gets the most subs before kickoff gets the first recap video on Sunday. So if you want free videos, whether you're a Saints fan or a Titans fan, whatever channel you're watching on, whatever team you're a fan of, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't let the other team win in subscribers or on the field come Sunday. The Saints hit the road to take on the Tennessee Titans, where the Titans are a 3-point favorite. We will come back to that line and why I'm a bit intrigued/surprised by it. Tennessee has been one of the hotter teams in the NFL. The defense is starting to play much, much better. They're riding a winning streak. The New Orleans Saints, meanwhile, not so much. You see the scoring offenses, scoring defenses on screen here. Titans have the better record. Their offense has better, and although their defense statistically isn't as good as New Orleans, they are playing a much better football in their last couple of games. So again, we will spend plenty of time discussing both of these teams in this matchup. Let's go to the Saints to start here. Their last 5 games. I still don't know what to make of this football team. Are they the team that beat the Bucs with a backup quarterback? Or a team that lost to the Giants in overtime and the Falcons, both of which came at home? I don't have a great feel for how good the Saints are. They are a playoff contender, clearly, but just how good are they? Maybe we'll know more after Week 10. Tennessee, meanwhile, is hot. One of the hottest teams in the NFL. 5 straight wins over the Jags, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Colts in overtime, and the surprising upset win on the road against the LA Rams, as they were underdog and they easily covered that spread. This week, though, Tennessee is a 3-point favorite. And I got to be honest, at home against the Saints team with a backup quarterback in Trevor Siemian / maybe Taysom Hill, and a team that just beat the Rams and has pulled upsets several weeks in the past couple, that line is curiously small. Surprisingly small, and it's such a unexpected line. It makes me wonder if maybe Vegas knows something. Look, the Saints have been inconsistent this year. Sometimes they look great, sometimes they look bad. Maybe they have a bounce back week, but Tennessee's been playing oh so good this year. 5 straight wins against not the easiest batch of competition. I think this is one of the better games this week in the NFL. And a not great group of matchups. These are 2 potential playoff teams. Now, as I said at the beginning of today's show, a similar version of this video is going out on both our Saints channel and our Titans channel. So I want you guys to flood the comment section. We can compare across channels. I am sure that whoever types in S the most or T the most will help their team win. So if you get the ad break here on YouTube, head down to the comment section and make your predictions. Who you've got this week. S for the Saints, T for the Titans. Go full homer if you guys want. You can even vote multiple times if you see fit. Let's get now to the Titans injury report. Tyler Tart, Jeffery Simmons, Harold Landry, David Long, Rashaan Evans all did not participate this Thursday for Tennessee. Now, Tart is dealing with a groin injury. We'll see about him. David Long's got the hammy. Rashaan Evans, the ankle. Evans and Tart were limited on Wednesday. DNP on Thursday. Red flag there. But the real potential concern is around Jeffery Simmons and Harold Landry. 2 of, if not the 2 best defensive players for Tennessee. It's too early to say if they'll go. I would think that they would. They're so incredibly important. But it was more important. I think this is a great question. I cannot wait to see your guys' answers in the comments section. Who is it? Tennessee. JS for Jeffery Simmons. HL for Harold Landry. Get those responses for me in the comments. All right, more players who did not participate this week, or Thursday, I should say, excuse me. Torrey Carter, the fullback. Greg Mabe in the corner. And Dane Cruikshank, hip, hammy, and knee, respectively. Cruikshank might not be able to go, but hey, Amani Hooker's a good football player as well. Now for the limited players. We'll get to Julio Jones in a second, because of course. Taylor Lewan, I think this is progress for him. I would guess he plays. We'll see. Bud Dupree, limited with a knee. He's just going to be kind of limited for much of the week or of the season. No concern there. Chris Jackson's played well. I think he goes as well. Normally when you're limited on Thursday, you're able to play. The concern comes when a player was not listed on the injury report and pops up on Thursday with a hamstring. It's Julio Jones, which it's classic, isn't it? I finally thought Julio was going to be not on the injury report at all, and then he pops right back up on it with that hamstring. As a Julio Jones fantasy owner, he's so damn stressful just to have. And I think Titans fans would agree, because is he going to play or not? Who knows? Does the hamstring tighten up mid-game? Who knows? He's just aging at this point. So be honest with me when you type your responses. How stressful is the will he, won't he play of Julio Jones? Is he healthy? Is he not? Rate this for him on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 on the low, 10 on the high. Finally, here the last couple notes on the injury report. A.J. Brown, Nicky D, Kendall Lamb, Nate Davis, all full with knees, backs, and a concussion for Davis. The takeaway there, yeah, they'll be fine. Those guys should all play against the Saints. Let's look at the quarterbacks for these two teams. First, the one you probably know a little bit less about, Trevor Siemian, who got the start for the Saints against the Falcons, could not deliver a win. We know what he is over his NFL career. He is a roughly replacement-level quarterback. He's not a disaster. You can win with him, but you might not be able to win because of him. The advantage very clearly goes to Ryan Tannehill. Look, Tannehill hasn't been at his very best this year. He's still been a little bit more up and down than I think even last year he was. But Tannehill's a good quarterback. He's better than Trevor Siemian. The better quarterback doesn't always win. The Saints know that. They beat the Bucs with Trevor Siemian over Tom Brady. The Titans know that. I think Matthew Stafford is better than Tannehill. Now, comparing and contrasting these offenses and defenses, the Saints' offense this year, points-wise, looks really damn good. They do not turn the ball over. They can run the ball pretty well. They haven't had a great yards per game or passing yards per game, which makes things an interesting matchup because Tennessee, their weakness has been in the passing attack. Their run D's pretty solid. They do a good job of taking the football away. So a very intriguing contrast of styles in terms of strengths and weaknesses. I'll also mention this Titans defense, past couple games, has been playing much, much better. All right, the offense now for Tennessee. High power. They've ran the ball really well, though. No Derrick Henry, a big-time loss from that perspective. Passing yards hasn't been great. And look again what we've got. The same strengths and weaknesses. At least I should say flip, but the same alignment there. The Saints defense has done a great job against the run, the number one run defense in the NFL, but they can get beat through the air a little bit. They take the ball away pretty solid. That defense has always outplayed, I think, its level of talent. That is a credit to defensive coordinator Dennis Allen. The intriguing blend of what teams do, or what these teams do well versus what they don't. Something's got to give, though, in Week 10. So I want you guys now to predict the score of this week's Titans-Saints game. I will give my prediction at the end of this video, but I want to hear from you, the people, first and foremost. So head down to the comments and flood it for me with your predictions this week. The New Orleans Saints injury report now. Only 5 players, not nearly as long as the Tennessee Titans one, although we'll get to one player not on here, and we'll explain why. The 2 limited players, Ty Montgomery, the receiver, Carl Granderson with the defensive with a hammy and shoulder respectively. Not a huge concern there. But ALVIN KAMARA, Teron Armstead, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson will spend some in-depth time on all 3 of these players. First up, the big name, ALVIN KAMARA, who did not practice again on Thursday, is reportedly dealing with a mild knee sprain. His Week 10 status is murky right now. I believe it was Nick Underhill who called him doubtful for this week's game. That would be a big-time loss for New Orleans. KAMARA is one of the premier running backs in the NFL, and the Saints are already precariously thin with just Mark Ingram, the Texans legend, and Dwayne Washington on the roster right now. If the Saints were to not have Alvin Kamara out there this week, that would be a significant loss. Of course, Tennessee knows how that feels with no Derrick Henry. So will Alvin Kamara play this week? I don't know, to be honest. So why don't you guys answer it for me? Type Y for yes, he will, or type in N for no, Kamara's not going to be able to play in Week 10. Over now to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the defensive back who is dealing with a foot injury. Back-to-back, did not participate at practice. I don't know if he's going to be able to play. The Saints might finally have to give Bradley Roby some more run. Maybe it's more P.J. Williams. We'll wait and see, and I'm sure we'll know more before kickoff. Meanwhile, on the offensive line, Teron Armstead again did not participate. Look, this is a guess. Make it clear. I would guess that Armstead's able to play. He looked just fine last week for the Saints. I know he's battled injuries this year. Maybe the team's trying to be cautious, but as a gambling man, I would say Armstead's out there. If not, James Hurst steps up at left tackle. Now, one player you did not see on the injury report who was on it on Wednesday is defensive end Peyton Turner. He has been placed on IR with a shoulder injury. Now, the exact severity and timetable of that injury as we sit here filming this is not yet known. But by going on IR, Turner will miss at least 3 games. He had the one great one and was pretty quiet beyond that. It means Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport will continue to be the lead pass rushers for the Saints at the defensive end position. Carl Granderson, as we mentioned, should be fine, should be good to go. We'll wait and see on that one. Jalen Holmes, Tano Passanio, other depth options for New Orleans. I think they'll be okay there without Turner, but we'll have to monitor KAMARA, Armstead, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson throughout the week. Now, before we go, I promised you guys I would make my score prediction this week, which will upset half of you, and the other half will love it. Overall, I think the Tennessee Titans are the better football team. I apologize for that, Saints fans. But Tennessee's been playing great. I think they've got a little bit more talent, and their quarterback's actually healthy. But that line does have me spooked. Only -3? It feels like it should be -6, right? That's a pretty big difference there. So in part because of that, knowing that I have to apologize here to Titans fans, I'm going Saints win 21-20. Game, late thriller. Saints pull out the victory. If it makes you feel any better, Titans fans, producer Jeff already bet on Tennessee, not just to win, but to cover that spread.